More connected. Here, why don't we open up with this? Oh, because of the light, that's why. So, my friends, as you know, it is the month of Elul, and each morning when I wake up, I blow the shofar, with the exception of Shabbat morning. It isn't traditional to blow the shofar in the evening, but because we are not all together throughout the week, it has become our tradition that I will blow the shofar every Friday night before we begin our services. And I see a few more people making their way up. I'm thrilled to see everybody. And just a reminder that we could never expect that we could do all of the work of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim in 1 or 2 days. And so our Judaism is so beautiful that this act of teshuvah, of turning and returning, is something that unfolds throughout the entire month. In fact, the days of awe begin at the first of Elul. I'm going to say, actually, this act of teshuvah is something that should happen throughout the year. It should happen each and every week, each and every Shabbat, each and every holiday season. Page 2, we pray responsively. May the doors of this Beit HaKnesset be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this Beit HaKnesset be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May the synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
On your insert sheet, paragraph 2, we pray these words from Shir HaShirim, from Song of Songs. They are really a love song that we say on Friday nights. Open up your hearts to a sense of what is possible on this Shabbat as we sing together with Alexandra.
Must have been at least 100 years. I must have cried an ocean of tears. Wandered through the coldest, darkest night, waiting for me there, spark bright. Forever is a long, 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 long time. My beloved, I'm yours,
And you are mine. Dodi, ani
never seen the colors quite so bright. Never held another quite so tight. Never thought my heart could fly away. I can't believe I get to be with you every single day. Forever is a long, long time. My beloved, I am yours,
and you are mine. I bring you Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav throughout the year, but it's always a special treat when we can pray these words together, paragraph 3 of the service insert sheet, when we're davening outdoors together. Ribono shel olam, Source, grant me the ability to be alone. May it be my custom to go outdoors each day, among the trees and the grass, among all growing things. And there may I be alone and enter into the prayer, to talk with the one to whom I belong. May I express there everything in my heart, and may all the foliage of the field, all grasses, trees, and plants, may they all awake at my coming, to send the power of their life into the words of my prayer, so that my prayer and speech are made whole through the life and spirit of all growing things, which are made as one by their transcendent source. Page 10 and 11 of the Siddur. Imagine that you're right here on the Hudson. Imagine that you're in spots and looking out from the city, going out over the rolling hills to meet the Sabbath bride, paragraphs 1 and 2, and then to page 11, paragraph 5 and 9. At the 9th and final paragraph, if you will, you can join me as we dance. Shabbat nekabela, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. B'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem u'tiferetz, v'litzila lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machsheva, tefila lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. Page 11. Hitoreri, Hiva orech kumi ori, uri shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nedila lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. The final paragraph. Shalom, atzeret ba'ana, ram v'simcha u'v'tohala, toch emunei u'segula, bo'mi chala, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela. Henry, Kara, Lindsay, come, I Right foot, here we go. That's the way Shabbat should be welcomed. Ah, 15. Fill us with the tide, rustles into the reeds in the march. Fill us. As the rushing water overflows the pitcher, fill us as light fills a room with its dancing. Let the little quarrels of the bones and the snarling of the lesser appetites and the whining of the ego cease. Let silence still us so you may show your shining and we can out of that stillness rise and praise. 18 in our ancient Aramaic words, we daven. Yitgadol v'yitkadash Shemei Rava Amen V'alma divrach irute V'yamlich malchute V'chayechon uv'yomechon Uv'chaye techol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam ul'almei omaya, yitvarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala Shmei Tekudesha Barechu Ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Zahamiran be'alma v'immeru Amen. 19. In prayer we have something called keva, which means structure. But it's interesting that the Hebrew word for keva is the same shoresh as the word kavanah, which means intention. So we need our structure. We need the thing that holds us together as a community, that holds us together with all of our communities, that helps us to show up even when we're feeling not inclined. That's the keva. And then in our prayer, we are always reaching for the kavanah, for the intention. And for that, the prayer of Leah Goldberg, Lamdeni Elohai Barech V'hit Palel, teach my lips a prayer, poem or song, teach my heart that prayer. When my time renews itself in morn or eve, teach my lips a prayer, poem or song when your time renews itself in morn or eve, so that my day today should be unlike tomorrow. Never let kavanah, never let keva, the structure, get in the way of or block your kavanah. Page 20, we stand and faith eat. We make connection with Yerushalayim, with our yearning for peace. We make connection with our people everywhere being called to worship at this moment. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand mutely on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? This is the hour of change. Within it we stand quietly on the border of light. Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my friend, or cross over? This is the hour of change. Within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What road lies before us? Shall we draw back, my friend, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. Ma'ariv Aravim that we just prayed is the evening prayer of being amazed about darkness and light, about life and renewal, about the miraculous of nature. Take a moment and shape the prayer that is unfolding in your heart. With infinite love, we affirm our faith. Page 27. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Page 30, the love we bring into the world. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha ub'chol nafshecha ub'chol me'odecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך Adonai Elohechem Emet. 33 at the bottom, Birkat Geula. The blessing of redemption asks us to partner with the divine in bringing about Tikkun Olam and bringing about healing in our world. A song of a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. Dug well, stones cleared off, choice vines sown. Why did it not bear the sweetest of grapes? Why did only the sour emerge? There was no tilling, no weeding, no care, just expectation of harvest. Emet. As we partner with the divine, so we hold Miriam and Moses and Bnei Yisrael as our guide. Page 40. לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Page 43, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. On the facing page 42, we ask for divine presence to shelter us, to protect us, to lead us to shalom. Praying. The eighth line from the bottom of the Hashkivenu, Ushmor Tzeitenu Uvoenu, and then we go to the top of the page with the Hashkivenu. Ushmor Tzeitenu Uvoenu, Chayim Shalom, Tav Yad Olam, Me'ata Shalom Lecha Me'ata ve'ad olam Me'ata ve'ad olam Me'ata ve'ad olam. If I had my druthers, we would hold services outdoors all year long. I would be able to be yechefa barefoot with my feet on the ground, because then when we get to the Amidah on page 47, and I speak about becoming the prayer, it makes sense. It all makes sense. If you are comfortable standing together with me, and once again facing east, page 47, we enter into the Amidah together as is traditional on Friday night. After we open together, we will each pray Belachash in a whisper through page 62. When you've completed your own prayer, work your way back to your seats. Let us sing the soul in every name, and the name in every soul. Let us sing the soul in every name, and sacred name of every soul.
Lai, 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 lai.
Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Ose shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al kol, Ve'al kol, Ve'al kol, Yisrael. With the Amidah having opened our hearts, we turn to page 76. I'm going to ask now that you send forth the names of loved ones who are struggling with the challenges of body and of spirit, those that need healing. Please say their names out loud now.
Claude Schweiger.
And I'm holding our entire list at synagogue, our 3 pages of loved ones. I will read every single name as Alexandra leads us in the Mishaberach, the prayer for healing.
May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us stand
I love Shabbat so much, but this Shabbat I am filled with an existential sadness, sadness for the world, for the plight of those allies who worked side by side with American forces in Afghanistan, whose very lives, their safety, their well-being are being threatened. For the plight of women and girls in Afghanistan, what will be their life, their right to education, expression, personal agency, safety of body and soul? The plight of the Afghani people, their human rights. I love Shabbat, but this week my soul is filled with an existential sadness. The people of Haiti, again, those who have lost their lives and the loved ones, the family members who have to find their way without children and partners and parents and siblings, those who are injured, those who are struggling and have been to find a stable future. Another week, and I find myself existentially overwhelmed by the darkness, by the heaviness in our world, the magnitude of pain, the capacity of human beings to inflict pain on one another. And yes, we have been getting reassurances from the administration that we will extract American citizens before the army fully exits Afghanistan, that there are aspirations to help as many allies of the American forces as we can. But that just doesn't feel enough. Don't we owe more to the Afghani people as allies? Don't we owe more to those who have specifically worked side by side with us? Don't we owe more to the women and girls of Afghanistan as human beings, that we've pulled the veil back for them to have a sense of their own voices, their own power, their own possibility? And what their life will be is so heavy, so frightening, so disheartening, the reality of it all. And I find myself thinking, I'm just gonna stick my head in the earth in my little Hudson Valley, my corner of Gan Eden. I'm gonna disconnect from it all. One of our congregants told me this week, I am off of the news. I do not want to listen anymore. And just bask in the freedoms and the safety, the relative freedom and relative safety that we have in our backyards. But my friends, that is not acceptable. And more than that, that is not Jewish. Instead, what do we do when it feels so overwhelming, so dark, unmanageable? We turn to Talmud, Pirkei Avot, chapter 2, verse 21. You know the verse. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lihibatel mimenu. You are not obligated to complete the work, to solve it all. But you are not free to neglect it, to desist from it. The whole week wasn't dark. Truthfully, there were many heroic moments. For me, I was riveted by the journalists who stayed the course in Afghanistan to the very, very last minute. Clarissa Ward, I think that's her name, who has a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and stood there with courage that I don't know that I've ever had. As people frightened, desperate, mulled around her. Our armed forces have been heroic, my friends. The response of the United States soldiers and the crew of the Boeing C-17 Globemaster III, which provided safe haven for some 700, some say 800 terrified, desperate Afghani men, women, and children, people who were desperate for safe passage to Qatar this past Sunday. And I love it because they broke the rules. They broke protocol. They didn't have permission to let those 800 people on that Boeing C-17, and they did. Heroes in our midst, another 800 people who will have a chance of survival. My grandparents came to the United States hoping for safe passage. I'm sure that many of your grandparents did too. There are members of our congregation who came to this country searching for safe passage. My grandparents didn't speak English. They didn't know what was in store for them, but they knew that they needed to flee the horrors of the life that no longer could sustain them, the life, their home they were leaving behind. And they came here and they were provided safe haven. People are dying. People are at risk. People are in desperate need. And if you know it, and as you are aware of it, if you see the pain and the destruction, you are not at liberty to turn your heart aside. And I love that this is held up in this week's parashah, Ki Tetzei, in Deuteronomy 22:3. As you go forth, the passage focuses on our concern for our brother, our concern for the other. Whether we know him, whether we know her, or if they are strangers, we are still responsible for them. The portion highlights it with this phrase, Lo tuchal להתעלם. You may not hide yourself for the concern for the welfare of another. I am feeling an existential sadness for this world of ours. And I recognize that I cannot solve it. But I can do something. And you can do something. Each of us can do one thing. Imagine if every single member of this congregation, imagine if every single American citizen did one thing. This Shabbat, as we bask in our relative freedoms, and safety and comfort and overflowing goodness and opportunities that we have been afforded by chance. By chance, I was born in America and not in Afghanistan. Let's make sure that we are not hiding. I will ask each one of us, as I ask of myself, to do something, to do one thing. This week, I went to my trusted American Jewish World Services, AJWS, that has opened a specific link so that all of the funds that any of us direct to AJWS will go to Haiti rescue. You can find that website by going to act.ajws.org/secure/Haiti. Just put in AJWS Haiti and you'll find it. Or go to HIAS, the Jewish Organization for Refugees, or go to any of the international refugee relief organizations that you trust and direct aid to Afghanistan, to the refugees. If every single member of this congregation did one thing, if every single citizen of the United States of America did one thing, we can provide more shelter, safe passage food for one Afghani, one Haitian child, for one Haitian woman or Afghani woman, for one person in Afghanistan or in Haiti. Each of us are not obligated to solve it all, but none of us are free to hide from our responsibility of being part of the solution. May it be a Sabbath of joy, a Sabbath of healing, a Sabbath of action, a Sabbath of peace. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin lehibatel mimena. Ligmor velo ata en chorim lehiadel mimena velo ata ben chorim velo ata ben chorim lehiadel mimena velo I love that message for our congregation in general. If each of us do one thing, we can together find our way. Next week, all of our classes are ongoing as the schedule is identified on our website. Of course, you can participate in all of the classes with me virtually. Our meditation and Torah study Tuesday morning, trope class Wednesday, conversational Hebrew Wednesday. We are going to remain here through August at the Robert Post Park in the town of Ulster. 3 of my sisters are going to come to services next week. So I'm really, really hoping that all of you amazing people will be here, but I'm hoping that some of you amazing people will come It's so safe. We're outdoors. You can't do better than this nof, than this ofik, this horizon. I'm sorry, Kara. What do you want me to do?
There's a nice breeze
Oh, there's a breeze.
from the river.
There's a gorgeous breeze from the river. And bring your chair or use one of the benches. There's a pavilion so you can be underneath. There's a playground 5 feet away. If you can't sit for the whole service, if any of you in your 50s or 60s or 70s need to climb on one of the mitkanim, Henry, of course, can sit through the whole service and can follow in the Hebrew, I see. Henry wants to also his friends to come and join him. When we move around, we're all masked. We're all being so careful. And of course, don't you want to see 3 of my sisters? You should come next week. I'd love to see you. Of course, next weekend, Saturday night, we have Erev Slichot at 7 p.m. It will be a 1-hour virtual ma'amad, an event, an observance. And Slichot is really the perfect way for us to prepare ourselves for the upcoming holidays of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim. It's always traditional on the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah to come together and to ask for forgiveness and grant forgiveness. We do this with some traditional prayers of Vidui, which I will bring for all of us. But this year, my Committee on Spiritual Practices invites all of you to participate by bringing a short prayer, poem, or reflection that you would like to share. We'll all be on a virtual engagement. Go to your emails, to our website, and join with us next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Our high holiday schedule is posted, and reservations are required so that we can keep everybody safe. Please go online or call the office. You may already know we are doing an early seating and a second seating for every evening service and every morning service, so that we can observe social distancing. If you're inclined to want to be in the same room with Alex and me, please know that we have HEPA filters. Everybody will be masked and we're social distancing. That's why we're doing 2 seatings. If it's not safe for you, please know that, of course, all of our services will be live streamed from our main sanctuary. So we are going to get through this COVID together. We're going to keep each other safe. But Alex and I are ready to re-inhabit after August our main sanctuary for Friday night and Saturday morning services and all of our high holidays. Let's get back into the keva, to the rhythm of seeing one another at minimum each week. And I'm looking forward to seeing you. Please make your reservations and call the office if you need any help. Yizkor cards are, we're asking you to return them as soon as possible, but no later than September 1st. So get on it, everybody, to guarantee that your loved one's names can be included in our Yizkor service. Don't forget to sign up for Yizkor if you're planning on coming in. Zemer this year is gearing up for the high holidays. Alexandra is looking for all of those wonderful voices that have kept Zemer energized over the years, but looking to welcome new people who have not yet sung with Zemer. Everybody singing with Alex is quite the treat, and she somehow makes your voice sound really great. I've learned that. Somehow when I sing with her, I have a great voice. Well, that can be your experience at Zemer. This is probably the most important of all of our announcements. Our amazing religious school is reopening for the 2021-2022 year. Oh, our new director, Jonathan Billig, and the wonderful community committee for the religious school has been working tirelessly. A new curriculum, a facelift in our building, new furniture, new whiteboards, and enrollment has been coming in wonderfully. If you are not yet enrolled, but your children are coming to our religious school, please get on. Our And finally, well, maybe this is the most important, this sense of healing is very much needed also in our Hudson Valley. Many of you that I'm looking out over Zoom and here today have been joining our wonderful initiative of making it your regular practice once a month, once a week, twice a month, to drop off food in the outdoor blue fridge on Clinton Avenue for our neighbors who are challenged with food security, but they're challenged with food insecurity. And our initiative is to bring equal equity and food access to all of our neighbors. When you go shopping, our synagogue is focused on fresh fruits and vegetables. Just buy an extra bag or 3 and drop it off in the blue fridge. We who have been making this our practice have had incredibly positive experiences. There's so much gratitude and appreciation for our neighbors. Everyone just comes and takes what they need. No one carts anybody or asks. And I've shared with you in the past, one of the things that's most striking for me is that when I drop off oranges or apples or bananas, it's frequently a young mom with her baby that's coming for some of the fruit, or teenagers or elementary school kids who are picking up fruits and vegetables for their families. So let's all be part of this. Our congregation can make a difference. Sisterhood's annual Rosh Hashanah sale is ongoing. I didn't realize that, but that's cool. If you can still get your Rosh Hashanah, oh, look at this. Is that mine? I just wonder. That's yours, Kara. I'd like to stay over with you if you don't mind. So get your order in if you haven't already. As you can hear, our announcements are reflecting the fact that while our building is closed until September, our synagogue is very much open, and we want you to be involved in every way that you can. Please reach out to me, reach out to the office or to any of our wonderful team, and we'll help you to get more involved. So I am holding in my heart now members of our community who have recently died. For any of you who are in your Shana or your Shloshim, your year or your month of loss, of grief, we are so privileged to be able to provide for you an ongoing minyan. And now I bring the names of yahrzeits of loved ones who died in this season in years past, whose yahrzeits are being observed this evening. Zichronam Levracha, John Chapman, remembered by Fred and Joan Carter. William Dean, Irving Gross, remembered by Melissa Newman. Melissa Newman's father, Emmy Humberg, Ruth Heisman's mother, Richard M. Kalish, Howard Mass, Sarah Mass, Joan Neary, Barbara Ronder's sister, Seligman Oppenheimer, Edith Satinsky, remembered by Kitty Satinsky, and Anne Spiesman, Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. Insert sheet, paragraph 4. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old people that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for the other walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love does not die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. It is our tradition as a congregation to hold a space in our hearts for the martyrs of our people who left no one to say Kaddish, to hold a place in our hearts to honor and affirm the lives and the blessings of the people of every race and nation who live their lives as a blessing to humanity. And as we affirm and stand with those who are observing their yard sites, we stand together on page 84. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechonu v'yomechonu v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam u'lalmei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shmei d'kudusha b'richu, le'ela min kobir chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei Adam v'imru. Amen. Please be seated. Before we close, we were going to close with Psalm 95 on page 4. We thought it would be a nice treat for you in your Siddur. Psalm 95. I do want to take a moment. I think that Bernie and Jeanette will be okay with me putting them on the spot and welcome new friends, Bernie and Jeanette, to our community. They hail from Rabbi side of the river over on the east side. They have a second home up here and we're thrilled for joining us from Long Island, originally from Statsburg on the weekends. Statsburg, yeah, Clinton Corner, Statsburg, Clinton Corner, something like that. And you should, with your mask on following services, introduce yourself. And we hope to be greeting them more and more over the weeks and the months and the years. I'm thrilled that you joined us this evening. Neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. Naria, naria, letzor yishenu. Nekad mavana v'toda, Naria, Naria, letzor yishenu. Nekad mavana lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, Adonai. La 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 la. Shabbat shalom. Oh yeah, I think we should. You got me. Awesome. Die, 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 die.
ואהבה ורצון יקרי לנו, זיכרון למעשה וריש. תהיו יום תהילה לנברא קודש, זכר ליציאה מצרים. קיבלנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, עם כל העמים, בשבתות שלך, ואהבה ורצון, הנהלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השם. Amen.
And I'm thrilled to tell you that Michael made the challah, my husband made the challah this evening. So I'm going to break pieces, and I hope you all will take a piece. Just remember to only touch a piece you're going to eat, because we're, at synagogue, we're not eating and drinking yet together, so we're breaking the rules a little bit. Hamotzi